All right, good morning, everybody. This is KEL once again. All right, hope they hear me loud and clear. Okay, I think there's a lot of activity in the Vietnam office. Okay, today's the 18th of December, 2025. Crazy Global Market Talk with KEL. Crazy anytime, anywhere. Now, guys, good morning to all of you. Today, we don't have much news, but then again, we need to know that there will be some core CPI data tonight, yeah? Okay, disclaimer apply as usual. Please do your risk management. Okay, so let's zoom into some of the fundamentals first for this morning. Before that, I bring in this thing called investing.com. Now, I like investing.com because it's quite timely. The information there is quite good. Yeah, I mean, I only use a calendar. I mean, and I'm sure there's a lot of things to use, but I only use a calendar for now. And let me just bring it up. Okay. Okay, so let's just start the morning first and look at what happened last night on the US market. Now, S&P 500 continued to post its fourth day of losing streak, and Nasdaq tumbled 1.8% as Oracle sells off. Now, I already warned you guys about Oracle. I given you information about Oracle last week, and I informed you that Oracle will see some selling, and truth be told, it's all coming in, yeah? So I'll talk about Oracle here. Okay, Oracle coming in. So let's take a look at what happened. Right, basically, Oracle primary investor has pulled out one of its data center project. Now that is going to be very damaging. Yes, Oracle, one of the top hot AI stock, dropped after the Blue Owl Capital plan to finance the cloud infrastructure. 10 billion in Michigan data center has fell through. Say that because now Oracle debt is getting way too high and they're spending too much money, and they feel that this $10 billion that they're going to finance initially may not really go to the project. So that is whereby things are now getting very bad and players are betting on Oracle to fail. So that is the reason why the CDS is so strong, so heavy on Oracle, yeah? Let me just bring to you right now, Oracle. So let's look at the Oracle's stock shares now. You can see the share, oh my God, plunged really bad. See the share price is down below the $200. Now, when I gave the sell signal on Oracle, if you can remember, it was somewhere around here at about $280. Then I reminded everybody to be very careful. This 220 may not hold position. And now it's trading at 178. And based on chart-wise, it's a very high chance Oracle can see 160. Although the Williams indicator is at the bottom now, but based on the common support level, this is not good. All right, that means this is still a sell at every rally counter. Yeah, so traders, be very careful on Oracle. You don't want to be caught on this. Now, of course, if Oracle comes down, it will definitely affect the Nasdaq, and that's why the Nasdaq came off more than 1.8%, as we saw in the report. Okay, so Oracle is down. So the question is, how about the rest? Who is going to monetize this large investment in AI, apparently? So apparently now some names are also being affected, like Broadcom. They are also affected by this because they have also some bills with Oracle. Excuse me. All right, and of course, we do know that today we will have some data coming in. Today we will have the CPI data coming out at 9:30 Singapore time, 9:30 p.m. So the initial jobless claims is expected to be lower. I don't think so. It should be higher. So let's see how it goes. The Philadelphia Federal Manufacturing Index is expected to be positive. I believe so. So today, after 9:30, we're going to see some volatility in the market. So take note of that. Now, the other market to take note of is Donald Trump. Donald Trump seems to vow to block all the tankers carrying Venezuela oil, which really now a dozen of them is at the sea right now. 34 U.S. sanctioned oil tanker with a history of carrying Venezuela oil are currently in a sea in Caribbean. And obviously, this is from Venezuela, which is not allowed, okay, by Donald Trump and his U.S. sanction. So that's why things is getting very interesting. It says that this is like a terrorist regime and order blockage of the sanctioned oil tanker. Yeah. So oil, because of that, yesterday has a bit of rally for a short moment. See that oil yesterday rallied from the $55, went back up to $56, a slight gain on that, but still is no cigar over the moment. The most you can see back is at $58 for a short moment of time. All right, very interesting. UK inflation fell to 3.2% in November, feeling the likelihood of a Christmas rate cut. So the question is this: I cannot understand how UK can have the inflation going down. So again, it's like how US telling you that the inflation stay at 3%, where we can see blatantly is much higher. So I'll leave it there to let the market decide, but this is the story we have for this morning. Okay, guys, that will be all for this morning's session for the fundamental. Let's look at the technical now. All right, this morning, gold opened up at 43.39, MLP 43.21. So by right, gold is supposed to go higher because of its KSI is green, KCX is black, so it's supposed to go up, right? But because, remember, we follow the OP rule. If the OP market goes below OP, we just sell. So it went below OP, that's why the market is coming down. So it's as simple as that. Okay, so now the thing is this: the MLP will be heavily watched by all of us. If the market is going to stay bullish, it might touch MLP before rebounding. Now, if the market is bearish, then the market may sell down to MLP and go down below. The KCB at 4304 is all waiting there. So the upside is still our number 4355. The KCB has been missed several times by the market. Okay, this 4355 target seemingly so hard to reach. But on a flip note itself, right, the selling is still quite strong along the way, right, compared, yeah? So all I can say is this, guys, watch out for MLP 43.21. And if the market touch MLP and hangs above MLP, then this is going to be a pretty good buy. But of course, if you have sold the market, you can consider MLP as a first support for taking some profit, yeah? Now I'm going to go to the 5-minute chart to show you how you trade the gold this morning. Okay, so this morning, if you see there's a diamond here, there's a blue diamond here, there's a break over here. So you buy this morning, no wrong, because you're following the rule to buy above OP, yeah? There's no wrong on that. But almost instantly after that, the market started to come down and a new 4 diamond appear. So you need to draw the line here. And then this is where the market goes below the OP, and this is where you're supposed to sell, okay? Because that means your buy position, you must cut and you must sell the market because it's now below OP, red candle, below diamond line. So that is a sell for you, because at the same time, when this is happening, do you notice that the KSI, it means that when the price was moving up here, the KSI already turned red color. So this is a very strong telltale sign that the boys were dumping. The boys were selling. This is fake. It's a fake up move. Okay. And the KSI already sell over here. So that's why the market basically touched OP, couldn't stay up, bang, come down, yeah? So that's why I always look at the whole market, remember the rules, and also look at the movement of the candles versus the KSI. All these will tell you exactly what to do with the market, okay? So you don't need to just only look at OP, you must look at everything else and stuff like that. Okay, all right, very important, yeah? Okay, so that is for gold. Let's just look at the next market. The next market that we're looking at right now will be Dow Jones. Now, recently, I've been very busy in the morning, just trying to settle my kids and stuff like that. So I have to really do a lot of morning stuff. I don't have time to do the Dow Jones analysis, but I can do it in the afternoon because Dow don't really move until later. Gold move more. Okay, so you can see right now, guys, the Dow Jones opening price is stacked together with the MLP. Pull out the price, you can see this better. Opening price for Dow is 47,881. Okay, MLP is 47,987. So it's more to the bearish side for today because the market is below MLP. Yeah, okay, more to the bearish side. Now, interestingly, the last 4 days, the market is down, but the KSI retained green color. So that's why I tell you guys, our KSI got nothing to do with the price action of the market, nothing. Okay. And you can see the color has just changed from the white color to magenta because the market trades below OP. So the OP and the pivot has a real interesting relationship. Yeah. Okay. So by right, if the market stays below OP, the market should come back down to test the pivot 2, which is stacked with the MA30. Okay. That's about 47,690. Okay. That's somewhere around there. Okay, that is the downside, but the upside, the market can go all the way back to MLP for the buy up. Yes, it's possible for that. Okay, so traders watch out for this because the KSI and the KCX are bullish and the market has been down for 4 days. So maybe a technical rebound is possible. Yeah. The next market I'll cover, it will be on the silver market, which y'all want me to talk about silver. Now, guys, silver is at all-time high level. Yesterday, silver rallied up big time from $64 all the way to $66. People pulling back a little bit. Now, silver is on a runaway track. There's no way in technical I can tell you what to do. Of course, some of you are using the Fibonacci 1.28, 1.382. I mean, you can use all this number. You can try, but to me, all this is not really that important. To me, is that if you want to buy silver above OP, you buy, below OP, you don't buy. As simple as that, yeah? Now, I really prefer the silver to come down for a little bit like this, and then we buy up again. I think that'll be a better choice, right? So I really hope that gold can hit 4355 first for my personal reason. And then after that, hopefully gold will pull back and we can have the next buy again. Who knows? Yeah. So the last time we saw a good buy was when the KCX was turning green here. And you can see why the market is so strong with that after that. Yeah, very typical bull market where one KCX green followed by multiple buy signal. Okay, so that is the silver. Now, Bitcoin. Now, yesterday, Bitcoin has came down. I already told you Bitcoin will come down. I'll show you a chart later on. And you can see that Bitcoin is now trying to stay above OP. The OP of Bitcoin today is at 85,976. The MLP 86,863. So bearish. But now the market's above OP, right? So you just have to wait for a while. Now there's a very strong, interesting support at this price at $85 and 85,592. That is the pivot 2 for today. And interestingly, all 3 lows happen to touch it. So that means there's a very strong support at about 85,000 on the Bitcoin. Yeah, very strong. So if you ask me, if this one can break, it should be able to come down to here, where stop loss should be triggered over here. That's 83,810. This is the level that I think the Bitcoin will travel down to touch first before any form of rebound. KCX is blinking already, but again, we cannot buy because we know the market to finish. So I like the market to close down later today. Yeah? If you can go down and close down, I think we may see a chance of recovery later next week. Okay, so that is for you in Bitcoin. And of course, Ethereum. Ethereum yesterday came down very strong, still selling momentum. Everything is a sell at the moment. Ethereum likely will test this level, which is the pivot at 2716 later today, if you ask me. All right, so this is how I feel about cryptocurrency. I don't think it's going to do well with more than $5 billion pumping in the market, but it doesn't react. It doesn't tell me anything better. Now, this morning, I woke up a bit early to do the charting, and I want to show something very interesting on the Bitcoin and Ethereum. Just give me a while. Let me show you the chart here. Okay, so this is Bitcoin of yesterday's Bitcoin, all right? Yesterday's Bitcoin. And you can see on screen, the Bitcoin has a pivot 1 at 9217, which the Bitcoin really touched it beautifully, yeah? This is a revision of yesterday. And you can see what happened on the Bitcoin. Oh, amazing. We have the pivot 1 at 9217. The market was trading around here, went down to KTR -1, hovers. Very importantly, hangs at MLP. Very powerful MLP. This is MLP for you. Okay. And then after that, recovered, stay above 4p. Now, what is amazing is it started to shoot up. And when it shoot up, it stopped exactly at KTR +2 because it's actually stacked with this thing called pivot. So with the pivot resisting the market at the same time, you can see that the market after that really come off. So this is why I keep on saying this: never fight the pivot. Never fight the pivot. Our crazy system itself, this pivot is really insane. A number, I mean, imagine the Dow Jones, I mean, the crude oil, Bitcoin was trading sideways at 87,000, yet we have a number there at 90,217 already there in the morning. And when the market shoot up, it stopped there exactly. And then after that, before it can notice, it started to sell because the boys were selling. So imagine, guys, you have a system that actually knows where to buy, where to sell. You can lay all the traps there to take profit. Think about this. Now, this is why when people say why pivot is so powerful, because you cannot imagine how crazy this can be. Yeah. So guys, so can you see now why is it so powerful? Never, okay, never fight the pivots. Yeah, never. The crazy pivots, okay, at least something you remember that, because a lot of people don't understand pivot. They thought it's the one that in the market. Yeah, never fight the crazy pivots. Okay, this is really crazy. When I saw this yesterday, I basically took some position in the market to sell some Bitcoin yesterday and make some little bit of money from there. Not much, $100, but still can pay the bills. All right, so very important, guys. Here's something to share with you for today. Yeah, very, very important. And of course, do you work the same way for the Ethereum? It did not work the same thing as Ethereum, but because Ethereum blasts above it, but when I go to KTR +2, you can see the same thing again. It touched KTR +2, and while the market was weak, straight away the market take profit. Yeah, very important. You need to have some technical point to be triggered first before you actually trade the market. Okay. Okay, so that is what we have for you today. I have no much things for you for now. I have nothing else. I just want to tell you that my personal take is this: if gold price later can stay above OP, all right, I'm pretty confident that we'll see this 43.55 later. Yeah. Okay, guys, that will be all for this morning session. Nothing much to share further. Take care and wish you all the best. I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow, there'll be more stuff. We'll be covering what happened on the CPI data. Okay, just cheers then. Bye-bye.